We are here for first taste, last regular season tournament of the year, first taste WYNDHAM Championship, which is one of my favorite courses. This course, this tournament is like what the Heritage used to be before they ruined it by making it Siggy. But first, of course, we're recording right after Michael Thorb finally got his maiden win at Detroit. What are your thoughts on Detroit this week? Oh, by the way, everybody, Jim here is a warrior. He's been in bed for a day and a half with food poisoning or what he got the Chipotle virus, whatever that is.
I got something.
Muscle through here. So
I told the wife, I was like, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to power through. This has been my favorite thing of the week. And it's worth it. I will not be chugging a beer tonight. And as a result, I will either chug one or two next week.
Yes,
to make up
I
for
have
my
right
sins.
here a Twisted Tea. I haven't shotgunned a beer or anything else in 25 years. Okay. And I said if Knapp wasn't the number one most tipped guy on Golf Tips Checker, I was going to shotgun a Twisted Tea live, recorded live right here. And I'm going to do it, but we're going to wait till we get to the Golf Tips Checker. So we're both in danger of puking today. You from the virus, me when I shotgun this. Try not to get it on the screen. I won't get it on the screen either.
And I was looking for a reason to join in anyways. And man, were we blessed this week. We'll talk about it as we move forward. It just made sense to join in if Koivu opened at a good number, and we'll get into that as we move forward. But yeah, let's get through this. I can make it through, and we're gonna have a great show.
All right, Detroit Golf Club, beautiful renovation job. Those bunkers, the natural-looking bunkers with the fescue eyebrows, the grown-out fescue rough in different areas of it. It's just a great renovation job. I don't know anything about golf architecture, but whoever the architect is who remade this course, he's my new favorite golf architect. So whatever your name is, excellent
Ray
job.
Is the architect.
My only complaint is, and this isn't the renovation, it's PGA Tour. Why is every set of greens on every course soft this year? Why do they water the hell? Are they terrified of firm and fast greens? Because the way this course was designed, I don't want carnage, but if they had like firm greens where it was bouncing a little bit, this would have been a really perfect tournament. That nonetheless, though, it still was a great tournament, great course. So it's a minor gripe, not a major gripe.
I think it was a necessary evil for the course. I mean, it's August 2nd. Brand new greens. They don't want to lose the greens when they just put all this money into it. And they got a bunch of rain overnight as well. So it is unfortunate. You could see the ball marks. You could see all.
I'm pushing back completely. We're talking at the majors this year. Shinnecock, Birkdale, Augusta, and all that. The moment they get worried about losing the greens or they get too firm and fast, or if the wind picks up, they just soften the greens. And then when the weather doesn't come, it plays too soft. Why not err in the side of, whoops, wind picked up and they're firm and fast, so we're going to have a really hard day. No, they're scared of embarrassing the pros for even one round. And so what we get is 2-3 days of just target golf. I mean, they were throwing darts all week. Today, thank God we got a little bit of wind, even though it didn't help my Davis Riley. But nonetheless, it's just, why not make the mistake on the side of too hard instead of too easy? Every single tournament this year, including the Open Championship and U.S. Open, they had one day of hard at Augusta, and they overreacted by making it soft as hell. They are erring on the side of making these courses too soft on the greens. And it's not even about putting. It's about approach, and it's about bounciness and all that. And when these guys are hitting out of the rough and they're still spinning it, landing on the greens because they know it's going to land, it just totally changes the nature of a tournament. And I'm tired of it. So this isn't – everybody talks about rolling it back, which I'm a proponent of, a big-time proponent of. Here's an easy solution. Set up the golf course for big boys, the way they played it for 100 years, instead of this bullshit soft greens every single week. So that's
it's true. They are pampering to these golfers, as Cantley would say, these pampered fucks.
Yes.
But hopefully Rolap has this as an agenda. We don't need to have eight under be the winner or 4 under every week, but it would be nice to see it every now and then, for sure.
Yeah. And again, the score is not really relevant to me. I mean, the score was about the same as last year when you consider they changed the par. It's just the nature of the course and the way they redesigned this course. It's beautiful. But the way this course could have really shined is having firmer greens. And it turns out they resodded the greens instead of planting them. And that's why the new firm and fast greens that you expect weren't there, and then they just poured buckets and buckets of water on it. So that said, I'm coming out overly negative about it because all in all, I mean, this went from a joke of a tournament, it really was, to a fair test. So I mean, it was a good tournament. And then everybody took turns shitting their pants on Sunday.
And a great leaderboard with Schauffele and Rasmus Højgaard and Hideki and Cam there all the week. It was a great turn. Cantlay. It was a great week. Not very successful for me. I did not handicap it well. I need to put a mental note that when we get these huge renovations and new courses to go a little lighter because, I took an angle for the most part with the ball striking and certainly some of it. I mean, look at Thorbjornsen picking up 3.5 on approach today. I just didn't have the right read. And it's hard when you don't have any data set for the new course.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime you introduce more variance, that's why I was speaking of it last week. It has a majors feel in terms of handicapping, in terms of, at a major outside of Augusta, it's a new course. The data when the last time they played it is, I'm not going to say obsolete, but it's not entirely telling and all that. So you got a lot more unknowns. We had a lot more unknowns heading into this week. All in all, though, I got to give credit to Thorbjornsen. I've probably taken more cheap shots at him on Twitter than any other golfer, just in terms of gagging it up. And 63, back 9, took it down, and that birdie on 18 was just clutch. So my boy Davis Riley, who I bet every single week for 3 years, didn't bet him at 875 this week, except for that $1 parlay with the Chargers. I managed to get some money down on him at 110 to 1, so I had a nice chunk of change to win today. Didn't get it done, but at the same time, it's Davis Riley, so I'm not going to sit there and be bitter that Davis Riley didn't get it done. He just started pushing everything left, which he's been doing for 3 years now. So, signs of life, though. So hopefully, he wins something in the fall. He can keep up because I think he basically needs to win something in the fall, or he's going down to Corn Ferry this year because he's used up his exemptions.
And I'm just glad you didn't miss him. My buddy Steven's a huge Riley fan as well. Opened at 12.50 to 1 last week. So
I had him at 875. And I was like, okay. But first I got distracted. I was like, I'm going to do it. I usually bet like $4 on these guys and then bet $1 parlay. I went right to the parlay. And then I forgot to bet $4, which would have been what? I would have been sweating like almost 4,000 or 3,700 or whatever. Would have been a much bigger sweat. So, whatever. No, yeah, all my other guys, the main guys that I bet, never really fired. Hideki, congratulations for the most shameful backdoor top 5 in the history of shameful backdoor top 5s.
That's what Hideki does, man.
Yeah, I'm done with him. And that's not hate. It's not anger and all that. He's too inconsistent right now, and he goes through long stretches of that. So, like, looking at him next week, I certainly ain't betting him at Wyndham. I'll see you on the West Coast swing when you get right again, and you might win. But I'm tired of every round is a different Hideki, and he hasn't been able to put together enough good rounds to win. Basically, Phoenix was his win this year. That was his scheduled win that he wins every year. He blew it on the 18th, cost us all a lot of money. I've broken up with Decky. It's not you, but it's also me.
And he lost 4 strokes putting on Friday. I mean, He very well could have been in the tournament had he not had that poor putting performance on Friday. So it's just hard to get across the line. And, Brian Kirshner, one of our buddies in the space, has been struggling, and he's been outspoken about the struggles he's been going through. He hit Thorbjornsen, so I'm so pumped for him.
Oh, I thought he had Brennan. He had both Thor and Brennan?
I think he had both.
Oh, no shit. Good job, BK.
And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
He's a Thor sufferer. He might be the number 1 Thor sufferer. He might have been more than anyone.
I think he even put a comment on his card like, Thor, ask later, or don't ask, something like that.
Oh, yeah. I actually went out, by the way, tapping Birdie, Brian Shaw. I think he has 1 more for the year or a couple more. Yeah, I remember him actually saying, he's like, this is the last time of the year I'm ever betting Thor. I'm going to get it out of my system. So I'm glad he did get 1 more. That's a nice hit by him. Okay. I was assuming he was just dying inside with Brennan. I know Mayo had Brennan ticket. And
it was a very Mayo leaderboard going through Saturday with Michael Kim there as well.
Yep. And I think he had a Xander thing. But yeah, Brennan.
He did have Xander.
What was it? The double bogey hole? Was it 12, I think? 11 or 12? And the best driver in the world. And he is the best driver in the world statistically. And to yank it, and then his provisional, which turned out he needed because he put it out of bounds, yanked that one, almost went out of bounds again. and it was over for him. I mean, he played more holes and all that. The moment he got that double there, and it was a nice double. I mean, it was a really good up and down from where he was for the double. But
where him and Højgaard were?
Yeah.
16.
No. He got the double before then.
Oh, then seven earlier.
Oh, was that okay? But either way, that killed him. Whatever he did afterwards, he was a dead man walking after that double. That said, I'm not going to shit on Michael Brennan because he won less than a year ago, and a young guy wins in a year. You're not going to call him a choke and all that. He did gag this one away, but he'll be back. I do like how they were absolutely gushing over his improved iron play. And I don't think he hit another good iron shot for like 6 holes after Gotti was like saying how improved he is, or Frank or whoever it was. All right, let's segue. We were just talking about all the high variants of the new renovated Rocket Classic. We are now going to a course that is probably one of the easier courses in terms of handicapping how the course will play, and that is Sedgefield Country Club. Whoops, that's not the right one. Here we go. Sedgefield Country Club down in North Carolina. It's inland, so it's not a coastal course. It's very short. And again, I say it every single time. I'll say it again. If you don't know the course, how can you pick the players? This course is a very, very, you say a lot about a lot of courses. This course is very accuracy off the tee, approach, and then hopefully you're making a lot of 10 to 15 foot putts on tricky greens. These are not the easiest greens in the world. They are old school, old fashioned sloping greens. So putting prowess definitely will play a factor, but getting off the tee, it's got a thick, nice, beautiful Bermuda rough, enough of this false fescue. You know, Detroit's fescue was actually quite good, but still, now we're back to sticky Bermuda rough. So if you hit it off the fairway, it's really hard to control the ball, and it's impossible to get the spin you want out of the rough. So hitting in the fairway is paramount. Distance, this course is about as distance proof of any course out there. So yeah, hitting it a little bit longer always helps, but you can't really use your driver as a weapon. You got to club down on a lot. You got to be very, very careful where you place it. So again, we're talking accuracy off the tee. We're talking approach, and we're talking the ability to make some putts, even lag putting. I mean, with these slope greens and all that, the ability to get up and down when you're a little bit off does matter. So let's look at last year's board. Of course, a bomber, but he's more than a bomber. I mean, his wedge game he's a flusher too. Cam Young just absolutely went to town last year. After betting him at every major, did I have him last year? No, I did not, but I was still absolutely thrilled when he finally got off the schneid. But underneath Cam Young, look at the rest of these guys. None of them are what you would call a bomber. These guys, some of them hit it long, but these guys are accuracy guys, particularly short to mid irons. So when you see this leaderboard, what does that make you think?
You've handicapped it perfectly. It's going to be find fairways, hit approach, and spike on the putter. Cam won by 6 strokes last year, gaining 2.5 strokes to the field on putting. Mac Meisner finished second, gained 1.5 strokes on putting. And Cam was under a stroke for the week with approach, averaging, but he just gained everywhere. It didn't need to rely on his around the green game much, and the putter just carried him the whole way.
Yep,
so
absolutely. This was like 3 months into his new caddy, and his caddy has just reads the greens for him. And this is like really when it came to the peak, and then he carried it over into the Ryder Cup, and then he carried it over in this year. So he elevated his game from like May until then, and this was the beginning of the Cam Young, who is, I'd say, the favorite player of the year, but we'll worry about that after we get through the Wyndham as we go into the playoffs. With that said, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Here we go. Page 1. What sticks out to you there? I know what sticks out to me. I even tweeted about it.
Yeah, let's start with that, and then we'll go a little further because we both have played it. Jackson Koiven, you go ahead and lead off with us.
Yeah, Koiven, we were talking about it, DMing each other, texting each other, and then I even tweeted about it earlier in the week. I thought Koiven was going to open 20-1 or under, or at least right around there.
And that is why I put my chug a beer bet at if he opened it higher than 19. I just thought it was the proper price for him to be like 18-1. And if he was going to land at 20, I was willing to chug a beer with you. Sorry that the norovirus has given us different choices this week, but I'll be joining next week.
Okay.
Now, is it 26 or did it open at 28?
No, it opened at 28. I got it at 28. It lasted for like 3 minutes, and then it went to 26 instantly. And
we both posted it on our Twitter feeds. I am happy and glad we did because it is down to 23.5. I just looked.
Shit. Okay, so yes, that's why I tweeted out. Because usually we want to save our content for this, but I knew by the time this airs, it was going to be nowhere near 28. So I pounded that full unit bet 28-1. Hopefully some of you saw the tweet. I'll tell you right now, if he's 23.50 right now, bet it still if you want to bet Koiven. There's a lot of good reasons to bet Koiven, but I will make this prediction. He will be second on the odds board by Wednesday night. He is going to – Cantlay's going to drift back because Cantlay at 1,600 is fucking criminal. And if you bet Cantlay okay, last week I said 21.50. I'll say it was 1,600. You should be put in jail if you bet Cantlay to win a golf tournament when he hasn't won since Ford was president at 16-1. So just stop it. So
those people aren't listening because you banished them from our show last week.
Yes, I'm blocking. So if you show me a 16-1 Cantlay, even if he wins, I'm going to block you. He'll drift down to 20. I think the two guys on this board who are going to get steamed. I think JT is going to get steamed. We haven't seen his name in a while. One of the Heritage, which is a great comp for this. He's JT. And Koiven, I think, are going to end up in the low 20s. I think Koiven is going to end up where we predicted, 20-1. I really do. It's not going to stop, even 19. He'll be the second on the odds board on all the major books Wednesday night before the tournament starts. So if you want to bet Koiven, I implore you, bet even the 23.50. I hope you saw my tweet at 28. Jim's tweet at 26. 23.50 still, I'm not talking about the value. I think it is good value at 23.50. I mean, this course is just perfect for him.
Finished in the top 5 as an amateur last year.
Yes, absolutely. And, putting and approach, and he's not like a master accurate off the tee, but he's pretty accurate. And again, clubbing down and so forth, he'll be fine off the tee. And if he gets in his groove, I mean, how many strokes did he gain on approach when he won? I think he gained like 7 strokes on approach that tournament. And his putting, he's already one of the top 10 putters, if not higher, on the tour. So 23.50 on this course, I'd still bet it. And again, I do not think it will last.
And we were talking about it before the show. He is currently 70th in the FedEx Cup standings. So he will be very inspired to have a good result. Obviously, he's going to go out and put out his best effort anyways. But in order to make the playoffs, he's got to go play this week. So
yeah, I thought he was impressive at Detroit. Coming off a win, his brain must have been in the clouds through Wednesday. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he went out partying hard and all that, but I mean, it's really hard to focus on the next week when you just won a tournament. Yeah, he showed up. He played. He never quite contended, but he played well. I mean, perfect prep for this week. So all systems go. I haven't bet him since last year or maybe early this year or something. I'm all in on him. Plus, I put an extra 50 on my brother. My brother is the Koiven super fan. So I've got 1.5 units on Koiven and highly confident. Thorb, we were talking about it before we started filming. I think he plays. Even though
he's comfortably into the FedEx playoffs, and we'll see. But he's built out his schedule. I wouldn't blame him for withdrawing, but I wouldn't be surprised if he played.
I just think top 70 is obviously paramount for a lot of reasons. But top 50, Siggy's next year means you can set your schedule. It's so nice to be locked into the top 50 at the end of the playoffs because that means next year you can set your schedule knowing you're in all the Siggies, all the majors and all that. So he's not free and clear of that yet. Top 20 guys are. But if you're in the 40s or whatever and all that, this is another course that's a great fit for him. So I think he plays. That said, if he withdraws, it will affect the odds board a little bit. 29-1 guy isn't going to kill everybody's odds, but a little point or two here or there. One of the factors. Who else on this board? Either you bet, you're thinking about, or even if you don't want to bet him, you say you should bet him because that's a good price.
So I'll come out and just be transparent. I think this is a really soft or hard odds board. Like the DK took a stance and they said they're not giving us any numbers. Like Cam opened at 10 last week. He's 8. Cantlay opened at 21.5, as you said, it's 16. Griffin was 28. He's 26. So I don't really love this odds board, to be honest. So I'm not betting. I've only bet Koiven so far. Obviously, my illness has some impact with that as well. But it just wasn't a very good release for a Sunday. And that's okay for us to say that and sleep on it tonight. I'm doing something a little unusual. I'm looking very hard at Cam Young. If we get a 10 tomorrow morning, I think I'm going to go Cam, Koiven.
Oh, yeah. By the way, anybody looking at Cam Young, obviously he's a horse for the course. Wait on that. 830 is just insane. And I mean, as good as he is and all, you'll be able to find a 10 or maybe even an 11 tomorrow.
Well, and
boost.
You know, with the low number, I'm not going to go to a top 5 probably, but I will consider, you know, Cam Young at 18 or 20 in the 3-place market. So we'll see what Monday morning has to offer. But that might be a real potential of just having a really tight card with Koiven and Cam, maybe one more. But
see, I disagree with you in the odds board in that I think when you get to 30 through 60, they weren't really sure how to order them. And the difference between 30 and 60 in quality of player and win equity isn't that much, but the way they make odds boards, they're going to put them in an order. So, yes, I agree. These guys, McNeely, who doesn't win tournaments, Decky, who I retired from, Gerard doesn't win tournaments, Rise disappeared, Koepka, Brennan, no way he wins after what he did this week. Point is, these guys are like listed here, and they're not that separated to me in my mind from the guys in the high 50s and 60s. So when we get to the 50s and 60 guys, all of a sudden now we got value in that it would have taken like 1 or 2 good finishes in the last month, and they would have been up here, and one of these guys would have been down.
And it's certainly
for these guys.
Certainly that tight odds board is up near this top of the board to the 30s. Like, I think McNeely was the one like outlier. He was a 21 to 1 at the 3M, withdrew last week, and then opened at 31 this week. But most of everyone in this area was like much shorter, significantly shorter than what they were last week. Like Matt Wallace, I know you had a great week, 92 to 1 last week. He's 58 to 1. Like I like
part of it is, I mean, we got some good names here, but the depth of quality last week was much better.
For sure.
Another thing about this tournament, though, I want to stress is if you look at the past winners, where you eat on the odds board, and obviously that doesn't mean it's going to necessarily happen here, but it's indicative of this type of course where any style can win here. In terms of bombers aren't going to go out, dominate, and eliminate half the field, is you see a lot of guys from the 40s, 50s, 80s, and even higher winning in the last decade. So there is where, like on a typical bomber course, there's like 25 real contenders. There's 50 real contenders now. So it's just a matter of finding them. Davis Riley, 875 to 1, almost winning this week, should inspire all of us who love to pick through the dumpster. So let's go right to page 2. And Harry English would be at 41 to 1. If you had told me Harry English at 41 to 1 in January, I would have mortgaged my house and bet everything I own on Harry English at this course. Harry English, however, is no longer good at golf. There's something wrong with him. He can't even get off the tee right. He can't putt. So don't go there. He's broken. Unless, of course, this is the year of guys coming out of nowhere and playing well when they've had no form. That would be how he did it, but I'm not betting on that at 41 to 1. Tommy Kim, 42. When we talk about golf tips checker, that one sticks out like a sore thumb. I think he's going to get a lot of steam. I think he will move into that tier with guys in the 30s, and a couple of the 30s guys might drop back. So if you like Tommy Kim, 42 to 1, I don't know if I love those odds on him, but I think that's about as good a price as you're going to find on Tommy Kim. Who else on this board? I know you mentioned Wallace. What are your thoughts on all these guys?
I'm just really leaning into some approach guys, Mac Meisner, Tom Kim. Those kind of guys are really sticking out. I think Doug Gims kind of had his moment, and that's probably passed by.
But those are good, though. And this is a good course fit. Do I want him at 54? His odds have been creeping down, so 54 might not be a horrible price. That said, I wouldn't be in a hurry to bet 54. Let's see where the 7 other books open. You might find value. Same thing with Meisner. Meisner actually has a pretty good course history here for Meisner. Okay, he's played this course well. It fits his game. So that said, do I want to bet Mac Meisner at 49? I do not. If I see him 60 tomorrow somewhere, I might be betting Mac Meisner, and I don't bet him a lot. There's a cult of Meisner bettors out there. The data guys fucking love him because he's a good fit for this. So he's worth watching. I'm not biting on him at 49 though.
Noren also finished in T3 last year. So this little page is an interesting collection of guys who have some good course history and our ball strikers in their long run. Jordan Smith, another one. We talked about him last week.
Yep.
Like he kind of pops out of nowhere sometimes.
I've never seen him hit a shot. Don't care. My brain filled up with European players. He missed the cut. So yeah, but look at the sheet though. There are some guys I'd be interested in. I'm not interested in Tom Kim just because watching him play golf pains me. But that said, he's the only guy on this board. If you like any of these guys, I'd be in a hurry to bet because I do think he's going to get steamed up. Scottish win, great history here, great fit. All the arrows point to him. And Alex 50 is also a popular guy, but 43 to 1 is insane.
Isn't this where Tom Kim shot a quad on the first hole of the tournament and then went on to win the tournament?
Yes. This was actually his win. Oh, okay, yes. So now he has a good history. He has a win here. So right there. You were talking about Wallace, and we were talking when we were texting. You were talking about waiting to see his price, hoping you get like an 80 at least. And C58, if you like Wallace, you're going to find it better than 58. 58 on Wallace is insane.
Yeah, it's not going to be a play for me if it stays in the 50s and mid 60s. Just won't happen.
No. Especially when there's a bunch of other guys. All right, we're going to get to my second bet right here. And I'm going to let the viewer. Oh, by the way, I always forget, and we're only 20 minutes into it. I'm not going to say another word. We're going to go on camera. Oops, wrong one.
I got you.
All right, here we go. Right there. By the way, my fingernails are dirty because I've been doing roofing, so shut up. Right there is the like and subscribe button, okay? We don't ask for much. By getting more subscribers, getting more likes, we get into the YouTube algorithm, more people see us. That's how we're going to end up with millions and millions of viewers by next year on First Take. So please, just take
we lost Larry.
Right here.
Let's see if we can straighten him up for a minute. There he is. There you are.
There we go.
Hit the like and subscribe. We love having y'all here.
And look at these fingernails. Okay, that's what I'm a man who does his own roofing. And when my building collapses in 6 months, that is going to be why. Don't do your own roofing, people. Okay, that is not where you save money. It's horrible work. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to page 3. And this is, I'm going to let the people guess. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here.
I got
There
you.
you go. That's page 2. Page 3. Who do you think was my insta-bet? We'll take a moment. And then, Jim, I'm going to let you take a guess.
A man who fancies a nice dram of Elijah Craig, Mr. JT Poston at 67 to 1.
Yes. Is that a superstar price? No. But, I mean, talk about course history. One here like 7 years ago. But the man literally playing his worst golf of his career last year, still got 11th. He is an instant top 20 on this course. Top 10. He has several of them. He has a win here. This course is his course. And 67 to 1. I love that price. I'm telling you right now, bet Posty this week, people. It's his time. I mean, Memorial was his time, but Memorial was out of nowhere. This one, we see it coming.
It's still so crazy that he won Memorial.
Like, yeah.
Incredible.
Talk about an outlier. I mean, that was just what? I mean, but that said, now this is the course he's going to win at. Already has won at. Is 67 a rock star price? I don't know if it is. I was expecting in the 50s. So when I saw 67, boom, I bet it. That said, if you want to hold out, maybe you can find a 70. I don't know, though. I really don't. Because his course history is such that the Posty people, and there are millions of us, the post heads, are going to be out betting him. So who else on this sheet interests you?
And I was looking. He hasn't played since the Open Championship. So a nice little bit of time off for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
A little unusual. I guess that's what happens when you T5 in the U.S. Open and win the Memorial.
And he grew up, or not grew up, but he just went to college right down the street from here, Eastern Carolina. I can't remember. Some Carolina one. Post heads are going to kill me for that. I should know that, by the way. But either way, I mean, he can handle the summer heat, and he is at home on this course. Michael Kim, is he a good golfer now?
I think Michael Kim goes through these spurts of good form, and I think he's currently in the middle of that right now. I think I even mentioned that last week. So if someone was listening well enough, they might have been able to capitalize on his good play this week. He just seems to just go on these little runs and then fade off into oblivion. So another guy that I'd probably look at just from like the tee to green and approach stuff, and I think it's a fair price at 70 as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. 70 for a guy who's riding this hot, pours in the birdies. You know, I mean, he get 59, obviously. He's a very streaky player. I don't bet Mike Kim much. I don't know why. I just never gets on my radar. I haven't bet him yet, but I took a long look at him. So he is on my radar. I might, if he drops down into the 60s, I probably won't bet him. If I see a little bit better price, I probably will. Because 70, I think, is a fair price. So Blades Brown, I think he's just wrapping up his Korn Ferry Tour.
Yes, we are. I'm currently in a Blades Brown sweat at the Utah Championship. I've had a good week in Korn Ferry. I hit the first round leader, Ross Steelman. It got chopped, of course, because that's what we do this year. But Blades had the tie for the lead going into the round, and he'll be playing when this time the show goes off. So just to circle back, JT Poston, Western Carolina.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, people. Sorry, post heads. Do not excommunicate me.
We will not make that mistake again.
Okay. I
think my wife took a visit of Western Carolina. She played volleyball in school, so I think that was one of her visit schools.
Right here. I keep this on me at all times. This is the game jersey, Posty. Can't wear it because I'm a little bit more muscular than Posty, but still. Okay. Where are we looking at here? Rest of these guys. Blades Brown.
Yeah, Blades, I think, is a fine play. I think the number's a little short given all things that we've taken into consideration. And I'm not going to do anything until I see what happens this week.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think even without the win, this is probably going to lock him into a tour card regardless, points-wise. KFT. I mean, he was already looking really, really good. With a win this week, he's locked in. I'm not saying he's not going to play in a pro event when this is the last chance he can play a pro event until mid-September. So he'll still make the flight and come play in it. That said, will his brain, how prepared will he be? I don't know. That said, this is a good course for him. Blades is a sharpshooter. So
I'm curious to see what he does. I would not be surprised if he went the Korn Ferry route again and just stacks it up as much as he can. I think if he wins, he's coming this week.
Okay.
Because he'll be locked in. He's 12th in the points before this week's points. If he wins, he'll be in Greensboro.
Oh, yeah. If he wins, if he's already 12th, he's going to be like, let's say 7th. Then he's almost mathematically in. I think there's 6 more tournaments, but 2 of them are for the playoffs, which when you already have your card locked up, the playoffs don't matter. So we'll see. We'll see. Is Im good at golf again? Because this should be an Im course. But
we just need Sanjay to start we need him to start hitting irons again, and he's not doing it. He's still not doing it.
You want to know what his problem is? He loves his wife so much. It really is. I mean, when he was living out of a suitcase in hotels, the man was a killer. Then he got married and bought a house, and he's so happy and content, his game's gone to shit, and he's not working on it. So I hope he gets divorced, because then we can bet on him again as a serious golfer. Just kidding. Im, I'm happy for you. More people should love your wife like that. That said,
just like two top 15 finishes in his last 3 weeks. We just got to flip the approach.
That's the thing. All his success this season is coming without what used to be his strength, his approach, which is still just jackassery. So
go look at his Wyndham history, and like his first 4 tournaments here, he's gaining 4 or 5 strokes on approach,
yeah.
and then the last 3 he's losing.
Im was tailor made for this course, without a doubt. But old Im is now happy, fat, and married.
He's gone. T6, T9, T24, T2, T14. I'm not getting there when he's missing his superpower. Like, I'd rather go to Ben Coles at 2 points shorter, because I know that's what the superpower is.
But it does say to me, sort of like Wyndham Clark several years ago and all that, it's interesting that his weaknesses have become his sort of strengths. So if he ever gets a superpower back, his game will be far more complete than it was before. So hopefully he can get over the hump. I mean, still young as hell. I think he's like, 24, 25?
He is 28.
Jesus Christ. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, Jesus. But either way, okay, yeah, he's not getting any younger then. Time to get it together. That said, there's still plenty of time for him to turn it around. I mean, he's still enormously talented. I do want to highlight Ben Coles, not because of Ben Coles himself, but as somebody who grinds out week after week these guys who are like 200-1, and then they contend a couple times, but they don't close. And then you want to keep betting them, but all of a sudden Ben Coles is 59-1 to win a PGA golf tournament. Where all of a sudden, the Ben Coles at 200-1 that you loved 250 to 1 is now 59 to 1. And you're like, God damn it. Everybody else discovered him too. So I feel bad for all the people who've been betting Ben Coles the last month while he was a sleeper. He's no longer a sleeper. So
yeah, that's kind of my Wyndham Clark thing. You know, it was really fun to be a top 50 player at 150 to 200 to 1. But when he gets down to 25 and 30 to 1, it's not as easy to click that button.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, what made him special was the value, or partially special, and it's no longer there. All right, here we go. Let's go to page. Is this the right one?
And I think before we leave this page, I think Brian Harman's an interesting case this week. I think at 66 to 1, it's a certainly fair price. I don't really know his history, but
I want to see
if
the
we're
weather.
If we're talking about the Wyndham Championship, Brian Harman's got to be the kind of golfer that you would like there.
I would like him if it gets a little windy, if there's a little bit of weather, which there could be. I haven't really checked it in depth. And all of a sudden the winning score is like 14 or 15. All of a sudden Brian Harman would be on my radar.
I will tell you, it is going to be wet and soft greens because the mid-Atlantic seaboard has been pounded by rain. I mean, we've got
I tell you what, if they get
today.
Live Clean in place here, there might be another 59. This course is actually too hard to give I'm not going to say 59. But if it's Live Clean in place and it's wet and soft greens, they are going to eat. They're absolutely going to eat. Austin Eckroth's going to shoot a 57. We'll get there. All right, here we go. Is this page 4? Page 4. All righty. What do you think? First off, I want to say Suber and Grillo, we've had a good time the last month. He didn't come through. He didn't win. You contended. I said a few mean things about you, but I didn't mean them. A lot of respect. But I'm putting you guys both to bed for the rest of the season, okay? I just can't take it anymore with your bullshit. So Grillo and Suber, both of those prices. Well, actually, I wouldn't bet Grillo here when you got to make a lot of putts. But Suber, I don't hate him at 86, but I can't do it anymore. So I broke it up with Subs. That said, 86 isn't a terrible number. What do you think of this sheet?
Let's not forget Jackson Suber was 38 to 1 2 weeks ago at the 3M. So I certainly am probably going to take a break from both, especially with the way I'm going this week. Names that I'm looking at, Eric Cole, 76, Ryu Hitsatsune at 76. I'm probably going to end up on Rio even if I go with Cam, and I think I could still fit for a 10X card with those three. That's where I'm leaning. I don't love the 76, and we got it up to an 80 last week by sitting on it, but I think he opened at 74 last week, 72 last week, and it got up to an 80. So I'll be looking at
Tsune.
It's a Tsune.
Yeah.
I'll probably be going that same direction this week, hoping to get a little bit of a slide or a better opener on one of the other books.
Yeah, I like both those guys too here at this course. 76, not a horrible number. I'm not in a rush to bet either one of them, but like you said, if they slip a little bit, and some guys are going to slip, some are going to go up. They slip a little bit, and I get them in the mid 80s or a 90 even, I'm going to bet them. If I miss and they're both in the low 60s, I'll happily not bet them because a lot of their value to me is their value in terms of, you know what I mean? I want a good price on them. But if all things go right, I can see both of them. Hitsatsune not winning this year would be sad. Him and Siwoo Kim have played totally different.
He's the poor man Siwoo Kim of like, all right, Leo, you should have had a win this year.
Tournament. Siwoo should have won a big boy tournament. And this might be the last chance. I'm assuming Hitsasune is in the playoffs, but he's not going to win a playoff event. So this is the last chance to get a regular season win. That said, who knows? You can win something in the fall, but it doesn't hit the same. Even for your first win, I accept your first win, even if it's in the fall, as a win. But it'd be nice to get out a win. So, in fact, I'm going to say I'm betting Hitsasune.
He's currently 42nd in the FedEx standings, so he's got to have a good week as well.
Yeah, I think I might change my mind. I already bet Posty. I already bet Koiven. 76 is a good price. He could be steamed a little bit. I could be wrong. Maybe there's an 80, but there's also a good chance he gets steamed down to like 65. I think I might bet him after the show ends.
Well, and that's a great mental exercise, Larry. Like, okay, what's going to hurt my feelings more? Missing 4 points and getting an 80 tomorrow morning, or missing it completely and it going down to 65 or 70?
And with Cole, the first one, And if it goes down to 60 or whatever, I'll be like, whatever. That's not going to hurt. Hisasuni, I really like him this week. So, yeah, it would hurt more not getting on him now because I really want to bet him. I've just decided. Just talking with you.
Let's do it.
Fee now it's 82-1. Get the hell out of here. Okay, why? Why? Okay, whatever. If you want to bet him, you want to bet him. Jason Day, he doesn't win golf tournaments anymore. Anybody else on here?
I think Rasmus will get some steam just because of how he played this week, but not really the stereotypical profile for him. Super bomber, super putter, everything else is kind of lacking, and I think he'll struggle. But he's playing some good golf for sure.
Kirk was on my short list, but he had the double whammy. He contended today, which hurt his odds, and then he shit the bed. Holy cow. The moment he got on the leaderboard, he just was awful. So 72-1, and now he's coming off of a what the hell just happened to me. I'm off of the Kirk bandwagon. I really wanted to bet him before, like as of 2 days ago when I started thinking about it. I was also hoping for a 90. 72 with his mental damage after a meltdown. I'm not getting there. Overpriced. Hogard, Rasmus is the wrong Hogard, and more importantly is that's just because he played well this week. He has no business being 72-1 at the Wyndham. No business whatsoever. It's like he's a driver-first player. All his other tools are much lesser. Just a terrible course fit for Hogard.
And Kirk's putter is just going to keep him from crossing the line. Yeah. It's just so bad.
Yeah, but I mean, if your ball striking it great, you hope because Kirk does. You know, it's been a long while. Does get hot and wins tournaments. I just like the fit here for his approach. Okay, I'm crying. I'm so upset over the thought of missing out on Hisatuni. Yeah, Hisatuni. In fact, consider that 100% ad. I'll be pissed when I open the phone in another 20 minutes and he's not there.
He'll be there.
You know, I'm talking a little slower now because we're only 2 sheets away from me having a shotgun a goddamn Twisted Tea. So, page 5. Here we go. Now we get into the hundreds. And again, there is value to be had down the board. Okay, this is a tournament where the pool of people going to win this is much higher than a one-dimensional driver fest or a tough course where talent actually separates. So, what do you see on this board that moves you?
The main guy that I like is Denny McCarthy at 105, but he did not play well this week. He played great at 3M, finished T3, gained significantly on accuracy and with approach and the putter, but I think he was awful with the putter this week. But I like the history here for sure. I know he's got a few top 20s and one top 10. It's just like. And this is a far extreme from what Michael Thorbjornsen is. It's like, is this guy ever going to win a tournament? Mm-hmm. And that he might just be a guy who never does.
But he's 105. I used to complain about you don't bet him, and actually the guy right below him, Harry Hall, you don't bet him at 50 because generally when you bet a guy down the board, you want a spike, and putting is usually where you get a spike. These guys are already spike putters every week. They're great putters, and it's much harder to find a spike out of them off the tee or approach. So I never saw the value there, but now they're in the hundreds. Now Harry Hall's just fallen off the earth, so I wouldn't go near him. I don't bet Denny McCarthy, but all of a sudden 105 on this course, that's a good price. I think he'll be bet up a little bit.
Yeah, Harry's lost. I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah. I like betting him. Hit him at the ISCO on his only win, but dude is in a different stratosphere right now.
Yeah, he had a solid spring without actually like truly doing anything, but he was playing good golf, and then he's just fallen off a cliff this summer. Screw you, Stevens. Plus, I don't love him here. In fact, none of these guys. Berger is a myth. You know, the myth of Berger. Daniel Berger is back. I think we can let that one go. He's good for like 3 weeks in Florida. I don't see anybody.
Well, so Bermuda, it might be good.
That is true. Oh yeah, I'll give you that. I will give you that, and that's probably why he's 100 instead of 150. None of these guys scream at me though. Maybe Denny, but none of these guys scream at me great values in terms of bet him now. So if you're kicking the tires on any of them, don't be in a hurry.
What a wasted year for Sepp Straka.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if he's injured or he's just fat and happy, and maybe got married and he hangs out with him's wife. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, he showed a couple times in the spring, and then he's just disappeared from the face of the earth. Next year is a Ryder Cup year. Maybe that's what motivates him because, you know, he's about as European as we are. But that said, he will want to get back on that team. So, yeah, this is just a lost page to me. Cootie, hey, screw you, Cootie. B, not at this course. Same thing with Jaeger. Same thing, RMP. Who knows? But none of these guys really throw me. Castillo, he won at, what was it, Puerto Rico?
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he's just disappeared. Him and Bud Cauley and Aaron Rye had one good week and Toasty, actually, if we're going to be honest. It's just weird how guys came out of nowhere and won. Your boy Nico, who we'll get to in a minute, same thing. It's just they all won tournaments, and then they've all shit the bed. So let's just jump right to the final page here. And we didn't go straight down the order. I listed Clanton was the next guy up, and then I just put names that interested us. So I'll let you start off here.
Yeah, I think Nico Echeverria is a good candidate to spike with the approach game. Billy Horschel coming off some good form.
Two Bermuda guys, too.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I don't have any strong feelings. I really don't like the numbers in this range either. Like, Billy Horschel's fine, and Echeverria's good at 125, but, like, I was looking for 150.
I bet Horschel. He hasn't been consistent, but he has been showing patches of great play, or at least very good play. And he is absolutely a horse for this course. Great course history. He's been playing it over a decade. 130. I think name Billy Ho and Wyndham will get him bet down a little bit. And I don't think I'd want to bet him if he were, you know, double digits. But 130 was a good enough price for Billy Ho because I need some Billy. I haven't bet him in like 2 years. And so 130 says to me, he plays well every other week. He played poorly last week, so that means he's due to play well. It would take a lot for him to get over the hump. This is where each ways and placements definitely would come into play on some of these guys. I'll just bet a taste on him, so it doesn't matter. Same thing with the next guy, 170, Eckroat. Now, Eckroat played really, really well this week. But if you look at his stats, his approach is what gets him there. His approach actually was poor, or at least blah this week. He just putt lights out and even chipped well. And Eckroat chipping well is something very rare. That said, he's still got to be confident with the way he played. And when guys are like struggling and all that, having some confidence going into a tournament really means a lot. So I have more confidence that his approach will get better. Maybe he can hold on with the putting and even chipping a little bit. Again, we're talking 170 to 1. I wouldn't bet him at half the price in a million years, but I do like him this week. I mean, Eckroat playing well the way he can play is a great, great course fit. So
he should be a better golfer than what we have gotten thus far in his career.
Yeah, he's a Davis Thompson all-star, where if you look at the stats, you look at the player, you're like, why doesn't he win more? But then when you actually watch him compete in the tournament, you understand why. And
I really like the Horschel profile the more I look at it. Bermuda is the only surface that he gains on. He has been absolutely dominating it with the irons. And his last 5 tournaments here, he has gained significantly with the putter.
Yep.
So
and he hasn't been
consistent. It might force my hands,
summer.
but I'm starting to drool at that Horschel number and profile.
Jump on it, baby. Join the Horschel train, everybody. 130. I already bet it. Going down there, Davis Riley, 185. I just put that there because I got to bet him now. Okay, I missed him for 1 week. He almost won. I'm not going to bet more than just a few dollars. 185 on Davis Riley to win. This is actually a much better fit than Detroit. There's no way he brings it back again 2 weeks in a row. No way. So I'm betting him. Don't follow me.
Did you see he had spoken to, I believe it was Balionis, saying that he needs to be a little bit kinder to himself. Maybe that's really helped him turn this corner.
Yeah, it's interesting. He said how miserable he was playing, but then he had a team around him who really helped pick him up, and it's kind of worked for him. That said, he's only had one good week after just mounds of shit. So good for him, and if he's turning it around. Hopefully he'll win something in the fall. I just don't see him after competing this week. Kind of gagging it up a little bit today. He kind of did. I don't see him coming back, even if it is a great, great course fit for the great Davis Riley. Again, I'll still be betting him because I am more ashamed of not getting my few bucks on him this week than anything else. Okay, because I literally have bet him every tournament he's played in, every time. In fact, half the time I don't even give it a golf tips checker. I just forget, but I always bet him. Phillips, same thing. I like AJ Ewert here. I've been targeting him. He's off and on playing some good golf, and he's definitely an accuracy shorter hitter, and he can get lights out with the putter. Can he do it for 4 rounds? Probably not. That said, if AJ Ewert's ever going to win a golf tournament on the regular tour, this might be the course for him. So when I saw 240, is it a great price? No, I haven't even bet it yet because I think I'll be able to find him at a better price. But AJ Ewert, if I have to, I will bet him all the way down to 200 to 1 because I have been looking at him for a while. I think I'll be able to find a 300, a rando one somewhere. Once you get into these odds, the variance between the sports books sometimes can be enormous. So bet AJ Ewert this week. If you're conservative, bet him at 240. If you're
conservative, Larry, let's do this. If you're conservative, you take that T11 at the Valspar and bet him for a T10.
Okay.
That's how you get some money out of AJ Ewert.
Yes, or at least do an each way top 5 or something like that. Okay, I tell you what. I don't often do it. I don't have bet 365. But I will, before I bet on AJ Ewert, I'm going to see what he opens on Bet Rivers. I do get Bet Rivers. That's the only other sportsbook, people, that offers each ways in the U.S. So I will see what he's at. They typically offer top 5, right? Or top 6?
Top 6.
Top 6. So I will see in the morning. I will have money on Ewert. I do really like him on this course. Same thing with
I really like the profile of like an each way 10 place on 365, Larry, and we can talk about that. So we don't need you driving across the state, but we can certainly take a look
there. I can't actually see PA, but it's like 12 miles away. But I'm a really lazy guy, too busy up on my roof patching holes to make the drive. I'm not going to make the drive for AJ Ewert though.
T13 at the COG, T11 at the Valspar. Those are.
And we're talking good comp courses. Yes, absolutely. Like he's not going to win on a Bombers course. I mean, I can outdrive him. That's not true, but still. I like Lipsky too. I don't know why I like Lipsky. Lipsky can putt. He putt well. He's kind of like Eckroat this week in that he played really well, but he didn't do it the way you would expect him to.
Larry, scratch your right ear if Ryan Baroff is holding you captive right now.
Is he a Lipsky guy this week already?
Oh, my God.
I mean, he's always a Lipsky guy. He's in mourning, though, because the Cam Davis run at Rocket Mortgage is over with it not being here anymore. And he is the #1 Cam Davis fan in America, in the world. So farewell to Cam Davis Open.
I hope they bring it back, man. I thought the course was fun.
I know. And here's the thing. If they're going to blow up the schedule a year from now anyway, why not put it in Detroit, find a one-off sponsor?
Yeah, Little Caesars. We're done. Yeah.
Exactly. And then who knows? Maybe they can get into the Challenger or whatever. I mean, they put $16 million into that course. And yes, a lot of it's for the members. You know what I mean? They sprung for it for a reason. That said, it really deserves, compared to some of those other crap courses. Like we're going to be stuck with CJ Cup because they spent $40 million and they did a horrible job at a reno. They spent $15 million and they did a 10 times better reno on Detroit. So it would be a shame if it's gone. Plus, just like, for example, as much as I like the Wyndham, what the hell are we going down to North Carolina for in the beginning of August when we're going to be leaving Detroit in the summer? I mean, it is so hot down there. So as you know, you're in mid-summer.
I can confirm it is pretty miserable right now.
Yes. It's a different kind of heat down there. Okay. I mean, any of us Northeastern, or if you're listening from Brighton and all that, when I have 100 degrees, and it gets 100 degrees here in upstate New York, it's just not the same. The air down there, the humidity, the thickness of it, it goes all night long. It's just relentless down there. So there's a different kind of heat. And if you haven't experienced it, trust me when I say this, and obviously you're more used to it because you're down there. And you're not even true south. You're mid-south, mid-Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
You get down, I was in, where was I? Somewhere, I can't remember, deep south. And I was like, I'd die. You can't go outside. So I did put down Brian Campbell only because 875 to 1. We almost had 875 to 1 winner this week. So I am betting, and talk about a guy who doesn't need to show form to bet on. I'm betting $1 on Brian Campbell just out of honor of the 875 club. So each week I'm betting a guy 875 to 1 until one finally hits because I'm due. Oh, you had a few names on this board.
Davis Chatfield's really the only guy I want to talk about. I bet him at 480 last week, and it really wasn't the best profile. You want Chatfield where he can separate with his accuracy and his approach game. And he has been 550 2 weeks ago, 480, and he's slowly coming down. But he's 390 this week. But I think at that price, it's a better profile. And I will be going to sleep hoping I can find a 500 tomorrow on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
FanDuel, sorry, not Facebook.
Yeah, you got me on him last week, I think. And sure.
And like it going back and looking at your card and seeing your mistakes is part of this process. Like,
yeah, but that said, I never like get any regret betting a guy 480 to 1. Because I don't bet big money on 480 to 1. I bet a beer on 480 to 1.
Yeah, but this dude can really gain on the field with his accuracy off the tee.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't doing that this week in Detroit. And that was the big difference. And I don't know what his putting splits are. I'll take a quick glance.
Where did he go to school? Is he SEC guy?
Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana.
You don't want those pale-skinned Irishmen down in North Carolina in the summer. You might die. Actually,
he's from Massachusetts, too.
Oh, he's dead. Nope. Fading him. Massachusetts, Notre Dame boy down south.
I just think with, like, I was trying to see how he finished T2 at the UNC Health Championship on Corn Ferry Tour last year in Raleigh.
Okay.
So he can do it in the region, but I don't know if I'm going to get there just because of my Cam Young, if I do go with Cam Young and Koiven. But if there's a place to bet him, it's going to be here versus the last two. And he finished T5 at ISCO, which is another demanding off the tee spot at Hurstbourne, and T16 at the 3M. And then obviously had a bad week this week, but I'm considering it.
Okay. Before we get to Golf Tiff Checker and me slamming a beer, I'm going to stall for time. Let's quickly just go over who were your first tastes this week.
Koiven at 26 was my first, and I think I'm going to jump on to and get the 67 for Ryu Hitsatsune.
Yep. Anybody else on the board?
Yeah, just considering guys who are elite approach guys. Horschel, Harmon, we talked about, but Horschel especially, but the Bud Collies, the Echeverias, and the Davis Chatfields of the world. But nothing in stone yet. We'll just see what tomorrow brings.
Okay, I got on Koiven. I beat you by 2 points. I'm at 28 to 1. Pounded it, full unit. Plus another half unit for my brother. Posty 67. Absolutely great bet. That said, the price isn't necessarily something you need to jump on. I did because just betting Posty as fast as I can just gives me pleasure. Billy Ho, 130. And let me take a quick peek here. I think I'm forgetting a guy. I got to log in. Checking on the phone here.
Alejandro Tosti.
Oh, Brian Campbell for $1. That doesn't count, though. Nor does Davis Riley. Those aren't first tastes. Oh, Lipsky. Okay, again, 270 to 1. Don't know if that's great value, but you want to know I'm not sweating it because he's not going to win anyway. So I just bet it just to bet it. So that said, Hisatuni, I will be jumping on literally in 10 minutes if this shotgun thing doesn't kill me. Okay. Here, first let's click on here just to go over. Give context. There we go. We did a terrible, terrible job last week. Partly because we created Suber. We were the first ones to say Suber at 100 to 1. Holy shit, what a great bet. And because we have a reach over millions and millions of bettors who follow us on Twitter, everybody bet Suber. We didn't pick him on the tips chart. And then more importantly, he actually beat out Knapp, who we did now. But I made the guarantee he would be number one. And instead, Suber backed him out. And I made the guarantee, and I said I would shotgun a tweet. So here we go. I'm going to give a tutorial. You want to put me on solo screen here? So
sure.
First off, wrong guy. There we go.
I don't know how to put you on solo screen.
Oh, because
we'll just put you on the double because you jumped off.
Yep. Okay. First off, if you're over the age of 25 and you haven't shotgunned a beer or tea, you're probably better off just saying I missed the boat. It's kind of like cocaine. Okay, just don't go there once you reach a certain age. What you do. First thing you do is line up. See how it lines up? And you want to make it so that the spout is pointing up, but then the can is pointing higher. Oops, I'm gone again. That'll
I'm
work.
done messing with it.
Okay. And then you want right here to make a little hole lined up with the spout. And you want it pointing up when you make the hole. Now, a key works best, okay? Yes, you could use a knife and all that, but then if you ever do it drunk, you're going to cut your hand off, okay? And I've actually, people shotgun shit in my bar all the time. No sharp objects. So a pen, problem is a pen sometimes explodes on the can. You get covered in blue. A key works good, preferably a car key. And again, you want it pointing up. This is gonna be a mess. All right, here we go. I haven't done this in 27 years. All right, I'm gonna go lower just to give me leverage. There we go. And
this is not helping my.
You do not want to make the hole. You want to make the hole too big if you're a pro. Like Byron probably cuts a hole the size you could fit your head in. Okay, but about thumb size. Keep it pointing up. Put your hand there where it opens. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm taking my glasses off. I'm gonna die because this beer comes out in like seconds. Put your mouth over it. I'm gonna quit talking and then pull it and go point up.
The science of tweeze.
Oh, I'm gonna die here. That's actually impressive. I'm a man. Oh, good.
Larry, you got to stop making these bets, man.
Whew. I only got a little bit on my shirt, but you want to know what? This isn't a clean business here. Actually, I got a little left. That's a poor shotgun. There we go. Now it's gone. You do want to finish it, or
this is why I said I would chug a beer rather than shotgunning. It's much cleaner.
And shotgunning a beer is actually harder because it's definitely got more carbonation in it, especially when you like puncture the can of a beer. Make sure you're not in a place where you don't want to get beer on because it will spray a little bit. So there we go. My first shotgun in 20-something years. Whew. I feel like a man again. I think I'm going to go out, hang out with the college kids. Okay, I'm going to clubbing. Okay, I feel like I'm 22 years old again. Whew.
So yeah, let's it was just a weird tips chart last week. Cam Young being up towards the top of the leaderboard and Hideki both are two guys that I wouldn't have expected to catch as much steam as they did. Kiefer's one we definitely should have hit and did not. But other than that, it was just another.
Gerard Thompson were like randos. Horschel, I think, might be on it this week. Cam Young, I actually tweeted to Golf Tips Checker. I was like, I can't remember the last time a favorite on the odds board made the tips chart. It's pretty rare. So he was about 11, I think he finally went off it. 10, 11 is really rare.
And it's hard for us because we're 24 hours before you start seeing the steam come in. On Monday at 10 o'clock, you can say, oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be steamed. Everybody and their mother's got him on his card. So it's hard. And this was a pathetic performance by us.
Okay. I'm
you going to make it? I should be the one doing
it. I got a nice, healthy belch. All right. I might shotgun another one. Nah, not really. Okay. You're not going to shotgun something.
No, I had a bucket over here, but I think the wife came and got it, so somebody else must be sick too.
Okay. Yeah, send it to me. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. So let's go over. Where is last year's? Oh, we got the wrong one.
I got you.
There we go. All right, this is last year's WYNDHAM Championship. And no surprises. Eckroat was 3. This is the first time I'm actually seeing it. Kirk, who I was looking at. Glover, who he won here, in 22, I think, 2023, something like that. So, yeah, no surprises here. Fitzy can win definitely here. He's just a good golfer. He's not playing this year, though. But, yeah, if you look at it, it's all approach guys, good off the tee. Adam Svensson?
I'm looking at how this happened.
How the hell was there steam on Adam Svensson? But I don't think – is he even in the field this year?
Probably not. Yeah, he is.
Oh, tell me he's like 200. I might bet him just to –
Oh, he's going to be up there for sure.
Yeah, he's been awful.
But 2 T7s here. That's why Adam Svensson got the steam.
What's his price? You got the price in front of you?
I don't know. I didn't do the whole odds board. Give me 1 second. I don't think I got him. He's going to be up in the 200-300s.
Okay, I'm betting him. That's another first taste just because of last year. And I'm not betting him much. I'm going to bet a few bucks on Svensson because we were just a year late. All righty, last week you went first. We did terribly. So this week I will go first. Let's pick 8 guys, and we are guaranteed. I'm not making any guarantees of shotgunning shit, but we are going to do better. I think the number one pick is a no-brainer, especially because his price came in fair. He's so sexy, top 5 last year. Everything points to this guy just being a dominant pick this week. So I'll just go Koiven because I already said he's going to be number 2 in the odds, and I stand by that. So Jackson Koiven, number 1 most tips, starting with both me and you on our tip sheets when we hand them in.
What's your magic number on the long shots who were in contention? Who did you bet Campbell at?
You mean who did I bet this week?
The number. You bet somebody at like an 800s number.
Oh, Brian Campbell. Yes, I bet $1 on it.
Adam Svensson's 850 to 1 as well.
I am in on Adam Svensson. Okay, I'm going to actually parlay him with Jackson Dart to have like $1 million touchdown parlay. I tell you that right now. And
all right, I'm going to go with Horschel and Tom Kim as my first 2.
Horschel, yep, absolutely right. Especially now seeing him last year on the board. No, actually last week on the board. And Tommy Kim.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel really confident with those 3. I really do. I'm going to go with Chris Kurt. Yes, he blew up a little bit, but he still played really well this week. He was 4th most tipped last year. Good course fit. I'm not necessarily betting him, but I think a lot of people are going to be betting Chris Kirk. And then guy we didn't talk about because he sucks, but probably his home course, Keegan Bradley. He's just that guy who are like, oh, and you don't get thrilled, but everybody's going to be like, whatever, I'll bet Keegan. So home course Keegan.
All right, you're giving me a layup. Ryu Hitsatsune will be my next one.
Boy, am I gassy right now.
Okay, Rio. And I'm going to take – what's Harmon's number? That's what you have to that's what I'm like.
66, I think. I think he was 66 or right around there.
Yeah, let's do Harmon. I'll close it out with Harmon.
Okay, that gives me one more.
Yep.
No, not gonna say Suber. Screw him. He hurt too many people last week. Rye, I don't see people getting the Rye, even though his price is actually. I mean, he won here. You won a PGA. You think he gets some respect? Not at his price. I'll go with Denny McCarthy at 105. An oldie but goodie. I think triple digits. Denny McCarthy. It is a good course fit. He wasn't like steamed last week, so nobody's really bitter at how he's been. So I'll go with Denny. All right, we're getting 4 of 8 next week, or you're shotgunning a beer next week. My shotgunning days are done.
I will chug a beer. I'm not shotgunning a beer.
Okay, chug a beer. Okay, I actually used to be like flip cup, where you gotta slam a beer and flip it. I could chug a draft beer really well.
Our friend group played 21 cup beer pong, so that's how. That was our best thing.
Do you know though? Can I tell you something? And this is not me lying. I invented beer pong. Do you know that?
Did you really?
I invented beer pong, and so I'm not going to get into it now. In the early 90s, first bar I ever ran in, I invented beer pong. All the little quirky rules and all that stuff, I invented beer pong. And I will litigate this to my dying day. I don't want any credit for it in terms of
this
money.
might be a fall swing short that we have to do.
I invented beer pong in about 1994, 95, give or take. That was like just when I was starting running clubs when I was still in college. So we'll leave it at that though. But
our group of friends would do 21 cup, and then we would also do the NCAA tournament. So we would take the bracket, and if you were the 1 seed, you would have 1 cup to make, and if you were the 16 seed, you had to make all 16. And you would think it would be easy, and like a lot of times those early seeds move on pretty quickly, but the games get interesting after a while for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I try to avoid
the 5-12 is a sneaky upset in beer pong as well.
I actually my drinking days I am much more mellow. Last week I sounded like death because I misbehaved last Saturday, and I actually I went back and I asked the bride and groom and several of my friends. I was like, "Did I do any shots?" And they were like, "Yes, Larry, you did several shots," and that is why. If I don't do shots, I can drink beer and even mixed drinks, and I'm not going to get too drunk. I'll get nice and drunk. I'll Irish goodbye, go to bed. You throw shots in the equation for an old man like me, and that's when you are smoking cigarettes and hanging out till 6 a.m. at a bar. It all came down to shots. Jack Fire is an evil product and should be banned. So, but yeah, Shotgunning a twee, though. I'm glad I did it. I feel young again. I still, on my bucket list, Byron and I are going to shotgun a twee at some point. So now I know I can do it. Okay, you got any thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, I can't believe we're at the last regular season event of the year. It's flown by.
Yeah. We got 3 more playoffs, which will be fun. It'll be easier to do the show, too, with smaller fields. And then I'm actually looking forward to, we're going to do First Taste Mondays, where we're going to record a regular show, picking a card, but we're not going to go anywhere near head-to-head with football. So we're not going to post anything on a Sunday night during NFL football season. But we are going to put out shows, going over the fall season events, full cards. So it won't necessarily be in a race to get the odds as much as just what we think. A lot of the regular podcasters take a break, switch to football. So we're going to step in and fill the void with regular cards. But that's 3 weeks down the road, or actually 5 weeks down the road because they take a break. In the meantime, good luck, everybody. Next week, the playoffs start. And here, let's go to the big thing, or the dual screen. There we go. And don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? It really helps us out. We're not in it for the money. Like, we're not monetized or anything like that. But we do want to get the word out. Don't want to be totally as dependent on Twitter to get views. And the more we can get in the algo of YouTube, the easier it makes it for us. And likes and subscribes are what do it, not necessarily views, even though thank you for your view, by the way, even if you don't. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And Jim, go to bed. No more puking. And
well, I'm hoping Blades Brown can cheer me up, but it doesn't look like he's playing very well. So maybe he'll turn it around.
Okay. Hopefully by the time people watch this, he'll have won. All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys.